Hi friends, thank you for joining me this week. Today's video is going to focus on building some strength in the hip flexors, building up some strength in the ankles, and just feeling our place in space. We're going to do a little dance where we're going to move from one leg mountain into crescent lunge, back into one leg mountain, and then back into warrior pose as we add on to this and see what happens and where we go. So have fun with it. Don't judge yourself. And let's just meet ourselves where we're at on the mat. We'll get started by sitting on our knees here. Sitting on our knees, we're going to lengthen up the spine. Crown of the head reaches up. Let's close down the eyes here. Slowing down the breath. Feeling into the body. Taking a few more breaths here. And with a big inhale, let's flutter open the eyes and let's bring the arms back and reach them up towards the sky. Hands come together and push those hands to one another. Hands to heart center here. Inhale, reach those fingertips up to the sky. And exhale, hands to heart center here. Inhale, reach those fingertips up to the sky. And exhale, let's twist over towards the left. Bringing that right hand on top of the left knee. Inhale as you lengthen up the spine. And exhale, twist a little bit deeper. Inhale as we come back to center. And give yourself like a little wiggle or a spinal twist here. Oh, that feels really good. Next, inhale, let's reach the fingertips up to the sky. And exhale as we twist over towards the right, left hand on the right knee. Inhale as you lengthen up the spine. And exhale, twist a little bit deeper. Inhale, let's come back to center. Taking our hands now, we're going to place them behind our head and one hand on top of the other. So try not to you can interlace the fingers, but I find that when you place the hands one on top of the other, it's harder for the hands to separate. So with a big inhale, we're going to bring the heart forward, elbows open up, gazes up. And then a big exhale here. We're going to tuck the chin to the chest, rounding in the back, trying to bring those elbows together. Chin comes to the chest. Inhale, open up. Opening up that butterfly. And exhale. Tuck everything in. Oh, this feels really good. Inhale, opening up. And exhale. Tucking everything in. Inhale, we're going to open up here. And just release the hands down. Shifting the hips over to one side or the other, we're going to come into a child's pose. Coming into a child's pose, we're going to do a cat-cow wave. So we're going to move from child into cat, then into cow. And we're going to do this movement from moving into cat, then moving into cow on one long, deep inhale. So let's get started here. Big inhales, we tuck the chin to the chest and we round and wave the body forward. Shoulders come over the wrist and keep inhaling as you start to send those sit bones up towards the sky. Belly reaches down, opening up the heart, gazes up. Exhale, push back into child's pose. Inhale, tuck that chin to the chest and round and wave that body forward. Shoulders over the wrist. And keep sending those sit bones up. Belly reaches down. Oh, that feels so good. And then exhale here, push back into child's pose. Inhale as we come forward, coming into a tabletop now. We're going to find ourselves in a neutral spine. Start to wiggle around a little bit. Feeling into your body. Let's make circles over those wrists, getting ready to open up for our downward facing dog. Reverse the direction. Feeling this nice stretch. Taking a seat back on the heels, and I'm going to turn towards you guys so you can see. We're going to continue to open up the wrist here, and we're going to do firecracker here. So tee out your arms. Cactus out the arms here. And then we're going to start to open and close the hands. Nice and fast. Moving those fingers. Starting to feel, it'll be a moment before you start to feel the fingers really catch on fire. And that fire is going to move up into the wrists, and then you're going to feel it in the forearms. Ooh, feeling that heat now. We're going to do this for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Release those hands down and shake it out. Coming back at the top of the mat in our tabletop here. We're going to reach the body forward, so we're just going to slide our body forward, and we're going to slowly bring the hips down, bringing the heart down, untuck those toes. And we're going to do a stretch in our shoulders here. So cactusing out the left arm. Cactusing out the left arm to the left side. We're going to do a prone spinal twist here. With a big inhale, we're going to take this right hand and we're going to push it into the ground as we roll the hips over towards the left. We're going to bring that right leg with us. Relax your head. And then bend in this right knee. And bring the right toe down, back behind you, touching the ground. If you have flexibility in the left shoulder, you can reach the right fingertips up to the sky. And then exhale here. Bring that hand behind the back. Next exhale, we're going to roll that heart nice and slow back down to the mat. And lengthening out here. Doing the other side, let's go ahead and cactus this right arm. Bring the right cheek down to the mat. Inhale as you push the left hand into the mat and roll those hips over to the right. Bending in this left knee and bring that left toe back behind you here. Next exhale, we're going to bring the heart forward nice and slow. Rolling the hips back down. We're going to bring the head forward and we're going to plant the hands into the mat, lifting up the heart, placing the elbows right underneath the shoulders, spreading the fingers nice and wide. We're coming into Sphinx pose now here. Roll the shoulder blades down or roll the shoulders down and back, shoulder blades together. Heart pulls forward. Inhale, draw those elbows towards the knee, opening up the chest, opening up the low belly. Feels good to stretch out the tummy. And next exhale here, we're going to lower the heart down. Pushing the ground away. We're going to come into our first downward facing dog. So let's go ahead and tuck those toes and send the hips up and back into downward facing dog. Pedaling out in our first down dog. Finding our pose, spreading those fingers nice and wide, drawing the shoulder blades away from each other. So draw your shoulder blades away from each other. Find that strength in the arms. And let's find stillness here. On a big inhale, we're going to come up to the tippy toes, tuck the chin to the chest, and we're going to wave the body forward into plank. Finding our plank pose here. And then on our next exhale, we're going to bring the knees down. We're going to shift the body forward, and we're going to bend in the elbows, coming into a chaturanga on the knees. Next exhale, lower that heart down to the mat. Ooh. Inhale as we plant the pubic bone and the tops of the feet in some mat. We lift the heart up, coming into a low cobra. No weight or hardly any weight in the hands. Big exhale here, push the ground away, and we're going to tuck those toes and send the hips up and back into downward facing dog. Big inhale here as we reach the right toes back behind us. Reach, squaring up the hips in tripod dog. Next exhale, we're going to bend that knee, bring the knee to the nose, shift the body forward and step the right foot in between the hands. Finding a low lunge here, we're going to sink the hips down, keeping the back knee lifted. Gaze is forward. Next inhale, we're going to press with those back toes and push forward, taking a step, left foot meets the right foot and forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, crown of the head reaching forward, and then exhale, fold. Planting those feet into the ground, we're going to come to standing with a bend in the knees, arms are heavy, chin is tucked to the chest, and inhale as we reach the fingertips up to the sky, and exhale, hands to heart center here. Coming into our pose, so with a big inhale, we're going to reach that right knee up to the sky, coming into our one-leg mountain. And then big exhale as we bring the heart forward, and we're going to take a big step to the back of the mat, tucking that back toe, coming into a crescent lunge. Big inhale as we push with those back toes, and we come into one-leg mountain again. And then exhale as we step that right foot to the back of the mat, and we open up into warrior two. Drawing the shoulder blades together, fingertips reaching away from each other, and front knee over that ankle. Flip that front palm, and let's reverse the warrior. Big exhale here as we cartwheel those hands down, and we take a big step back into downward facing dog. And let's do the other side. Big inhale as we reach those left toes up to the sky here, in tripod dog. And exhale, knee to nose, shifting the body forward, and step that right foot in between the hands, or left foot, sorry guys, in between the hands. Sinking the hips down here, gaze forward, and then using those back toes, we're going to push forward and step that right foot next to that left foot and forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, crown of the head reaching forward, and then exhale, fold. Coming to standing here, let's push those hands, push those feet into the mat. Hands come back. Reach the fingertips above our head and exhale, hands to heart center here. Next inhale, let's reach that right knee up, coming into one-leg mountain. And then big exhale here as the heart slightly comes forward and we take a step to the back of the mat, coming into crescent lunge. Inhale, using those back toes to push forward. We're going to come into one-leg mountain again. And then exhale, we're going to step to the back of the mat and we're going to open up into warrior two. Flip that front palm and let's reverse our warrior. Feels so good. Next exhale here, let's cartwheel those hands down and take a big step back, downward facing dog. Inhale as we come up to the tippy toes, tucking the chin to the chest, and we wave that body forward into plank. Exhale here as we drop the knees down, shift the body forward, and bend in those elbows, coming into modified chaturanga. Next exhale, slowly lower that heart down. Inhale as we lift the heart up, shoulders down and back as we come into low cobra. And then exhale here as we push the ground away, tuck those back toes, and we come back into down dog. Let's layer on a little bit more here. Big inhale as we reach the right toes back in tripod dog. And exhale here, knee to nose as we shift the body forward and step the right foot in between the hands. Sinking the hips down here as we come forward. Hair's doing some weird stuff. Sink those hips down. Ooh, heart coming forward, gazes forward in our low lunge. Next, we're going to plant that left hand down and we're going to open up here and we're going to reach the right fingertips up to the sky, coming in revolved, low lunge. Next, exhale, plant that right hand down and use that left foot to push yourself forward. Left foot meets the right foot and forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, crown of the head reaching forward, and then exhale, fold. Inhale here as we push the feet into the ground and we come to standing. Reaching the fingertips up to the sky, and exhale here, hands to heart center. Reaching the fingertips back and up. We're going to bring that right knee with us, coming into our one-leg mountain again, finding your steadiness or unsteadiness. And then big exhales, we take a big step back to the back of the mat and we come into crescent lunge. Next exhale, we're going to pull back on this left hip crease slightly so we can open up and twist over towards the left. Inhale as we come forward into crescent lunge again. And then we're going to push with those back toes. But we're going to come forward into one-leg mountain. And then big exhales, we take a step to the back of the mat and we open up into warrior two. Flip that front palm and we're going to reverse the warrior. Next inhale, we're going to come into warrior two. And then we're going to lengthen out this front leg and we're going to send the hips back, coming into triangle pose. Hands come to, left hand can come down to your ankle or the mat, whatever feels good to you. Next exhale, plant that right hand down. We're going to lift the back heel, bend in the front knee, and take a big step forward. Feet in between the hands and forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, crown of the head reaches forward, and then exhale, fold. Woo! Plant those feet into the mat and we're going to come up to standing here. Nice and slow, reaching the hands above our head, and exhale, hands to heart center here. Inhale, let's reach those fingertips up to the sky. And exhale, let's fold forward, leading with the heart, holding at the hips. Plant those hands down and let's step back into downward facing dog. Inhale here as we come up to the tippy toes, tucking the chin to the chest, and we wave the body forward into plank. Exhale here as we drop the knees down, shifting the heart forward and lower down here. Next exhale, lower the heart all the way down to the mat. Inhale as we roll the shoulder blades down and back, coming up into a low cobra. Next exhale, push the ground away, tuck those toes, and send the hips up and back into downward facing dog. Inhale as we reach the left toes up to the sky, reach back and tripod dog. And then exhale here, knee to nose as we shift the body forward and step that left foot in between the hands. Sinking the hips down here as we bring the heart forward and gaze is forward, back knee is lifted. We're going to plant the right hand down and we're going to open up and reach the left fingertips up to the sky. Exhale here as we plant that left hand down and we use those back toes and push forward, stepping that right foot next to that left foot and forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, crown of the head reaches forward, and then exhale, fold. Inhale here as we push those feet into the ground and we come up to standing nice and slow, reaching those fingertips up and back, and exhale, hands to heart center here. Big inhale as we reach the fingertips up to the sky, and we're going to bring that left knee with us. Exhale as the heart comes forward and we step back into crescent lunge. Next exhale, we're going to pull back on this right hip crease and we're going to twist over towards the right. Inhale as we come forward into our crescent lunge and use those back toes to push forward as we come into one leg mountain. Next exhale here, we're going to take a big step back to the back of the mat and we're going to open up into warrior two. Flip that front palm. Now let's reverse our warrior. Inhale as we come back forward into a warrior two. And then we're going to lengthen out this front leg, sending the hips back. And we come into triangle pose. Bringing the hand down to the mat, a block, or your ankle. Next exhale, let's go ahead and plant that left hand down. Lift the back toes, bend in the front knee, and take a big step forward. And forward fold. Again, inhale, halfway lift, crown of the head reaches forward, and then exhale, fold. This feels really nice. Now we're going to bend the knees, and we're going to bring ourselves down to the mat here. Feeling that nice little strength. Hopefully you felt a little bit of strength in your ankles. And if you didn't, we can practice again. Just trying to build more strength in our hips and build more strength in our ankles as we practice in our standing poses. Let's go ahead and slowly lower down to our backs now. So go ahead and take your hands on your knees and slowly lower down. Ooh, this feels so good. Starting to slow it down now. I think I want to do, let's do happy baby here. So let's go ahead and bring the knees into the chest. Give ourselves a hug here. From here, we're going to let go of those knees and we're going to start to separate the knees. Reaching the arms in between the knees. Hands come on the outside of the feet. Grabbing for the balls of the feet here. At inhales, we lift the heels up towards the ceiling. As we lift the heels up towards the ceiling, you're pulling the hands back down to earth, getting that isometric energy going, that opposite energy directions. Ooh, that feels so good. Opening up in the low back, opening up in the groin. You can stay stationary, you can rock back and forth, you can bend one knee, lengthen out the other. Whatever feels good to you and your happy baby here. Next exhale, we're going to bend in the knees, bringing the heels together and slowly release those hands. Bringing the feet down to the mat. Finishing up here with a couple of supine twists. We're going to lengthen out this left leg, right knee is bent up towards the sky. You can T out your arms, you can Y out your arms, whatever feels good to you. And with your next exhale, we're going to roll over towards the left side, bringing that right knee with us. Let's glue down the shoulder blades and let's gaze over that right shoulder. That will lift up that right knee a little bit, but that's okay. We're aiming for the lumbar. Next inhale here as we roll the hips back to center. Lengthening out the right leg and bending in that left knee. And exhale as we twist over towards the right side. Gluing down this left shoulder and gaze over the left shoulder as well. Next inhale, we're going to come back to center. Lengthening out this left leg here. Arms come alongside the body. Let's separate the feet, natural separation of the feet. Allow the feet to fall naturally apart, palms facing up towards the sky, or other option, you can bring one hand to the heart and the other to the belly. Closing down the eyes here, and let's just focus on melting into the floor. We're going to move into focusing on the face and allowing ourselves to relax in the face, softening in between the eyebrows, softening the eyelids here, relaxing the bottom jaw, and relaxing the tongue. And let's find stillness for a few minutes. And let's start to bring ourselves back to awareness here. Focusing in on our breath. We're going to start to wiggle the fingers and the toes. Allow the movement to grow up the body. Oh, that feels really nice. Bending in the knees, knees up to the sky, feet flat on the mat, keeping the eyes heavy or closed. We're going to roll over to one side, coming into a fetal position. With this top hand, we're going to press it into the mat, and we're going to push ourselves up to a seated position. Easy cross-legged pose, Sukhasana here. Bringing our hands together at heart center. And thanking yourselves for showing up for this beautiful, short little practice. I hope you enjoyed it. building up your hip flexors, building up strength in those legs. Let's bring our thumbs to our third eye. And let's just bow forward and seal the practice here. Coming back to seated. And exhale. Thank you for showing up today. I hope this was a practice that you were looking for and something that you can do again and again. And I'd appreciate if you guys would leave me some comments down below. If there's any poses that you would like me to do, feel free to ask. And again, I will leave some information below because in January, I'm coming back and we're going to be doing some practices at the Salt Cave. So please look me up. I'm here in Albuquerque, New Mexico, and I will be teaching some beautiful yin classes, and we can do yoga together live. So the information is down below. Hopefully you can make it, and I'll see you guys next week. Take care.